Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the patch notes for 1.0.4, the New World update. It is going to be taking the servers offline tonight at 11 p.m. Pacific at least here in California, and so it'll probably go live tomorrow morning. If you haven't already, please subscribe to support the channel, much appreciated. I have a bunch of other New World videos that have a lot of info in them. So if you need anything, definitely check out those videos. And so let's get into it. So Outpost Rush and server transfers rollout plan. So server transfers when downtime is complete. After we monitor server transfers to ensure that no new issues are encountered, we will re-enable it for the remaining regions. It's pretty cool. Outpost Rush, I'm really excited about this one. US West, 10 a.m. they're going to release it. So this was apparently bugged. You couldn't get out of Outpost Rush once you signed up and went into the instance. Um, so our goal is to adhere to the schedule above. Okay, that looks like it's just scheduling. General changes. Remove the Earthfall starting beach to funnel new players through the other three locations to increase the probability of new players and friends being able to start together. That's nice. My four IRL buddies, when we started, we all started in different locations, which is super annoying. The first house discount reduces the purchase price but does not reduce taxes. However, the UI indicated to players that their taxes would also be reduced, and it was only after purchasing the houses and needing to pay taxes that they discovered they had to pay full price. We will compensate any player who purchased a house before the UI fix went out with 2,000 coins. That will include me. I purchased my first house, I think, in Morningdale, and the taxes are pretty expensive there since Syndicate owns it, so that'll be super helpful to get 2,000 coins back. I think it's 1,000 coins, and I've already paid tax on it twice. Slightly improved performance in wars. I love how they put slightly in there because it's still not going to be perfect. Obviously, it's very early stages. Slightly improve the performance of the life staff with changes to the passive abilities, Mending Touch and Blissful Soul. That's pretty solid. In 1.03, we corrected a bug causing companies to lose income from owning multiple territories or from failed war declarations. With this update, we're reimbursing lost coin revenue. That's pretty cool for companies that have lost money from that. The company treasury will be reimbursed for all lost coin revenue resulting in the issue. The revenue returned will not exceed the treasury cap. That's really nice because potentially a lot of money could be lost there. If a company has been completely abandoned, they will not recover lost coin. That's unfortunate. But if you're not a company anymore, I guess it doesn't really matter. Here is a big one, guys. We increased the faction token cap by 50% for each faction tier. We made this change so that players can earn extra tokens even if they've hit reputation cap and want to save up while working to advance to the next rank. So it's tier 1 through 4. It's not really relevant for these. I guess a little bit if you're a little slow on leveling. I hit 60 pretty quick, but this is really clutch. Being that the top item cost 50k, it was kind of weird that you could only get one of the weapons when you hit cap, and you'd usually lose a couple points from hitting over the cap when you're trying to save for the 50k weapons for the faction tier. So this is really big, I think. I think that this was really something that they needed to add. Okay, let's go to the general bug fixes. Fix an issue where the faction token caps were not increasing after players had completed their rank up quest for their faction. That would be super annoying. I don't think that happened to me, luckily. Fix the rare issue causing the world time to skip ahead or behind, which would subsequently cause a variety of issues across the world. Interesting, that's kind of weird. Here's a big one that I heard a couple people talking about. Fix an issue causing players to lose houses they owned in Cutlass. So I don't know if they purchased the houses and were refunded or if they weren't refunded for that and just lost their money, so that's bad. Fix several rare server crash issues. This was a little bit of an issue. I remember quite a few instances of people just being everyone bombed from the server at the same time. Fix an issue with the suspension ban notifications showing incorrect times. It's cool but kind of irrelevant unless you're super toxic. Fix an issue where players could use their world transfer token while they still had active trading post contracts, causing additional issues when the transfer resolved. That makes a lot of sense. Fix an issue causing some AI to not spawn in the world as intended. This is probably for some of the respawn timers for the bosses, for the most part, probably the quest mission bosses and units. Fixed an issue where Merkguard corrupted portals in Shattered Mountain were distributing higher tier gear than intended and respawning faster than intended. That's pretty cool. I bet a lot of higher tier guilds took advantage of this and leveled up their gear score a lot. Fix an issue where enemies in Merkguard corrupted portal events were dropping loot. I have experienced that. I was a little confused because the corrupted portal units don't drop items themselves. They're just supposed to drop the chest once you complete the entire corrupted portal. So that is a big one that they probably needed to fix. Fix an issue causing an unintended animation when interacting with the bubbling cauldron housing items, and an issue causing the ladle object to appear in the player's hand while interacting. I'm not Probably just an animation bug with some of the furniture. Kind of irrelevant. Fix an issue with the star metal and aurichalcum veins where large ore veins were rewarding small amounts of ore and small ore veins were rewarding larger amounts of ore. I didn't notice that. That's pretty funny, but that's something I'm glad they fixed, I guess. If two people go up to nodes, usually you'll try to hit the big one, and if you hit the big one and you get less than the small one, that's a little infuriating. Fix an issue where the war lottery timer would not pause correctly during the war lockout period. That's a pretty nice fix. Fix the render distance of the jack-o'-lantern pumpkin lights. I'm not sure what the issue with that was. Fix an issue causing the GM chat tag to show on non-GM players. Interesting. Fix an issue causing armor texture to flicker. That's definitely been an issue, not too crazy though. Fix an issue in the Starstone Burrows expedition where the arcane protection was not protecting players from certain lasers. Oh my god, that must have been infuriating. Fix an issue where certain types of enemies in the Amrine excavation were invulnerable. I did the Amrine a lot, and I don't think I ever encountered any invulnerable enemies, just the ones that get leashed. Fix an issue where the ice pylon could stay on an infinite cooldown. That was super frustrating. So even if it died, it would still act like it's living, and you couldn't spawn another one in a different location. So this was a big one that I think they needed to fix. Fix an issue where players could obtain rings that had two perks sharing an exclusive perk label and shouldn't exist on the same ring. Interesting. I'm not sure what an example of those would be, but fix an issue causing the projectile visual to be absent from Ice Gauntlet and Ice Pollen attacks. I've definitely seen that happen. I've used Ice Gauntlet a lot. Fix an issue where players would be unable to complete a variety of game actions after fast traveling. That's interesting. Not too sure about that one. Okay, speculative fixes. The fixes listed below are tentative fixes and mitigations. Our goal is to get these changes out and see if issues persist so we can continue to work on them and address in the future update if necessary. Fixed war exploit where players could use area of effect magic effects to capture rally points without taking damage. This should be improved by the war performance and life staff performance updates, but we continue to monitor to see if the issues persist. I heard a lot about this in other servers. I don't know if it was going on in our server. We're in Coquitos, by the way. We have fixed several known causes of players being invulnerable. This issue is a top priority for our team. We are continuing to track down fixes for additional causes of this. I think this is specific to Ice Gauntlet. I know that there were quite a few potential quote-unquote invulnerabilities with Ice Gauntlet if you would spam your AoE spells. I think that it would kind of lag the other players, and you could basically hit them because they all look like they're standing still, even though they're not frozen or stunned, and you wouldn't take damage. So hopefully that gets fixed with the war stuff. We have speculatively fixed the issue where players could get stuck after leaving Outpost Rush. This was a rare issue, and our team was not able to reproduce it. We will continue to monitor during the rollout. So although they weren't able to reproduce that, apparently a lot of people were having that issue. Like I said earlier, they were getting stuck in the instance once they joined Outpost Rush and they couldn't get out. So yeah, it looks like they're addressing some community concerns, which is really good. They've looks like they have addressed a lot of things that were issues. I know that there are a bunch of other things that are still a little wonky. My biggest concern being the complete domination of certain factions in certain servers. Like in our server, Syndicate owns almost everything. Covenant owns absolutely nothing. Marauder only owns 2 to 3 territories. I think that there needs to be some. It's a really difficult question, but there has to be some sort of way for the besides just being able to transfer and merge servers, there has to be some way for the lower tier faction to catch up. Some sort of rubber band or comeback mechanic, give them more people or buffs in the wars and invasion, or not, invasions don't really matter, but in the wars they need to have some sort of catch up mechanic, because once a faction gets ahead in a server, it's really hard for the other factions to catch up. And the defender's advantage is very strong in this game. So I think that the attackers need to have some sort of a buff, especially if it's the lowest tier faction with absolutely no territories. And like I said, it's a really tough issue to fix, and it's not so cut and dry. There isn't one or two solutions that would completely fix it. I think it's going to take time and testing, but I think that's something that needs to be addressed quickly, because Covenant is completely shut down in our server, and I know in some servers Covenant is completely owning everyone. So it really just depends on the server, but yeah, the comeback mechanic for the rank 3 faction in every server I think is something that needs to be addressed. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on fixing that issue in particular in the comments. I would love to hear what you guys think about it and chat about it. But thank you guys very much for watching. Again, please subscribe and like the video to support the channel. And thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video.